and succulent growers, I'm Lynn. Welcome to Desert Plants of Avalon, and in today's video is going to be a February update of my cactus and succulent collection that I have in the Polytunnel. So come on guys, let me show you my collection. Now then guys, I'm going to start off with this corner and then work my way around. And because it's sort of later February now, sort of very late winter, there is nothing really happening as such with the cacti and well, there is a bit more with the succulents at this time of year. We have had a very cold winter, sort of from late October up until now. It's been bitterly cold, a lot colder than normal, and that's probably also going to delay obviously a lot of the first signs of buds. But normally for me, my cacti start to wake up sort of from the sort of very late February to the beginning of March, the middle of March. So I'm going to show you, do a quick update on the cactus collection and the succulents, and talk about anything that I see any changes to and things like that. But it's a quiet sort of time of year. February is exciting, especially when it comes to the end of February, such as now, because you do know you don't have long before you start to see the signs of plants waking up. Now, I just want to mention my indoor cacti that I have in my kitchen windowsill. They're actually coming into bud now. I do have a couple in here as well, which I'm going to show you in this update. But the ones in the kitchen window are coming into bud already, like some of the gymnos, and that's because they're kept in a warmer environment. So naturally, they're starting to wake up that bit earlier. Here in my polytunnel, I have a heater that comes on when the temperature drops below 5 Celsius, 41 Fahrenheit. But it has been cold, as I mentioned, so it's been pretty much hanging around the 5C, 41, sort of 5 Celsius, 41 Fahrenheit for the past few weeks. So it's been a bit slow, but the plants are still looking good. And the most important thing is they're alive. So then, I'm going to start off just showing you a little bit here first of all. Now in this corner, I have some of my Trichocereus cacti, some are punteas, and Pachycereus and a Clyster cactus, and another Trichocereus. And this is going to be a little bit more of an update type of tour as I take you around. If you see any individual cacti that you want to know the proper names for, just let me know whereabouts it appears in this video, and also a description of it, and I'll do my best to give you the correct ID. So I'm just going to probably mention the genus names. It'd be too long otherwise. And here I've got my Libivia, and this is Libivia Camo Libivia hybrid, and that is looking pretty good there as well. My lovely Trichocereus grandiflorus red star, and its little pup there as well. That's hanging down. This has the most incredible red flowers on it during the summer months. So I'm looking forward to seeing the blooms on that this year. This is my big Agave filifera. That's a beauty as well. My Yucca elephantypes, and this is quite a hardy enough plant, but it's sort of more commonly sold as a house plant, but it is hardy. But I've got this here in the polytunnel to protect it from rain. And here is my Aloe arborescens that I've grown from seed quite a few years ago now. Seed I got from my wonderful friend Rachel at Gardening at Douentza. And this, I probably will have to separate this and pot this on this spring and summer, because it's definitely outgrowing its little pot, as you can see. Underneath here I have a mixture of a lot of aloes and some propagations, all different types here, all underneath. Many I've grown from seed, such as this here. Also more aloes I've grown from seed, and all different types. And this one, the lovely Aloe juvena, lovely big clumping plant there, massive. And some more juvena underneath. More aloes all under the table. They seem to do well with a bit more shade as well, which is why I have them under the table. More aloe arborescens have grown from seed there. And then under the table, I'm going to show you under the tables first. This is a lot of my epiphyllums. Again, these are usually one of the first to start to form buds for me. And believe it or not, they are starting to, the starting very beginnings of showing signs of buds. I don't know if I can really get close enough with the camera to show you. You might not be able to see, but they are starting to come into bud. Maybe I can show you a bit better with one of the ones that's hanging up a little bit. And I can show you here because it's hard to show you close up with the macro. Yeah, here, there's a little beginnings of it there, a little tiny bit of red coming through, because these start to produce even there, the very, very beginnings of buds, usually sort of late February time. And then they're usually the first to come into bloom along with the Raybutias. And a mixture of different types of epiphyllums. I'm really looking forward to seeing them bloom this year. Some cacti I've got on the floor because these I'm working on. That one I've been putting diatomaceous earth on and treating with to prevent from mealybugs, and that's my little crassula. So it's a little bit all over the place at the moment with plants everywhere. All my opuntias, and I'm not getting too close to these guys because these will bite me. I have to do a lot of work on these this spring because they're not looking the best. They're very tatty looking, and some of them, as you can see, they're obvious signs of scale. So I'm going to have to cut them back, treat them, give them a really, really good cutting back with a lot of these. A bit of a revamp, which opuntias you do have to do regularly to keep them looking sort of tidy-ish anyway. So I can't go too close with them because it's a little bit hectic, as you can see. But I have many different varieties, but they're not looking the best at the moment. They do need to have a bit of a pruning back, so I've got a lot of work to do on these. But as you can see, they are looking quite shriveled at the moment, but they will pick up once they've had a good watering. Some ripsalis here as well. These I have still been lightly watering because they do like to have a bit of light watering during the winter months. I keep my indoor ripsalis more watered because of the warmer temperatures, but these ones sort of do okay if I give them a bit of a top up with water every now and then. And more epiphyllums hanging up on there. More ripsalis as well. And this one here, as you can see, this is looking a bit very pencil-like, so give this a good water. I probably will after I've done this video. Actually, I like to keep it topped up and it will pump back up again. They're ones I do have to lightly water. It's always a dilemma at this time of year because I can see, and you'll see in my video, I have a lot of cacti that are looking quite shriveled, that are dying for a drink. But I have to hold back because it's still late February, and March and April can be quite cool as well. But I normally give them their first watering usually in the first or second week of April, and they're going to love that, really plump up again. So here we go onto this table first here, and my lovely Raybutia albipilosa as well. You can see that's all sort of showing signs of new growth already. And all my other Raybutias, Gymnocalciums, Cactus, Mammillarias. Usually the Mammillarias also are the first to show signs of buds. For me, they sort of really wake up once I give them their first watering. The weather, as I mentioned, has been extremely cold the past while, so everything is sort of not really showing any signs of waking up yet. But once the good weather comes and the first watering of the year is given to these, they will really start to plump up again. So this is just a little scooty round with the camera, so you can just see a little update on my collection, and I'll point out any that I showed you that seem to be showing signs of waking up. But as you can see, pretty much everything is pretty much sleeping at the moment still. More Mammillarias, Cactus. My Raybutia perplexa, I really hope I see that coming to bloom this year. Cockamia as well. Some of the plants are actually starting to show signs of starting to grow at the very top, such as this Raybutia here. But I'm holding back on the watering, and that's because my Polytunnel, as I mentioned, is kept cold, and we're having a very cold spell. Sort of lovely, nice, mild day today, but it has been very cold. So the cacti are still pretty much in their winter rest, even though we're getting closer to the spring now, thank goodness. Some Ariocarpus there. As I say, just showing you around, and if you see any individual cacti that you really want to know the names of, let me know where it appears in the video and I will do my best to give you the full ID. It's sort of normal with the cacti starting to shrivel, as you can see here, and these. And you won't believe, once you give them their first water, they will plump up lovely. And all my lovely Ariocarpus here as well. Luctumbergia. And all of my Lophophoras. They have come through the winter pretty good. It's quite normal at this time of year where they go quite scabby and quite soft, and then again when you water them they will really plump up. Because I had a few people contacting me say they were worried their lofts were soft and squishy. This is something they do in the winter time, and when you water them they'll plump back up again. Turbinicarpus here, and all my lofts, and this is an example how shriveled they go. Just look how shriveled they are. That's one of my loft Caspositosas. They get very shriveled, but this is normal. When we give them their first watering in the spring, in April, they'll plump up, and that's often where they really do burst into flower pretty quickly once you give them their first watering. I've got a selection all here. So then I will take you around to the other side. I'll just show you my hanging baskets. My lovely Cactus Colodimonsis. And this actually is coming into bud. There's a little bud there, which is quite remarkable because I haven't really given this any water. I think the last time would have been in October, because it's that little bit more slightly epiphytic than the other desert cacti. And it sort of always blooms for me late in the summer, early fall as well. But this is showing signs of buds already, as you can see there. So great. As I say, I'm going to be holding off the watering purely because they're here in the polytunnel and it is kept cool. If these plants were in the house, now it's late February. You know, I have a lot of people say my cacti are showing signs of buds and they're in the house. If they're in the house, oh, there's another bud there, look. Then you can go ahead and give a very light watering just to give it a bit of a kickstart. If it's showing signs of buds, it's a sign that it's waking up. If you have them in a greenhouse or polytunnel and it's a cool environment, I would still hold back unless the cacti is showing obvious signs of very much shriveling. Buds, there's 2 buds on that, yay! Oh my golly guys, look! There's another bud. Wow, this is really waking up. Happy days. So my Cactus Colodimonsis, the monkey's tail, is waking up already. These are Heliocereus Aporocactus hybrids. Pretty much nothing with these yet. Again, they always go shrivelly. Give them the first water, they will plump up. My Cactus Winterii as well. That one is usually a late summer bloomer for me. That's very much in its winter rest. And then on this side here, I have mostly all my Trichocereus cacti, and these are awesome bloomers in the summertime for me. But these again very much in their winter dormancy at the moment. Pretty shriveled. Again, this is very normal. Look how shriveled this one goes. I sort of love it when they shrivel, and this is normal when they're dormant. They're using up their water reserves, so they go sucking it all in. But they're overwintering really well here. And again, once they have their first watering, they will plump right up again. More Trichocereus, got awesome spines on them. And this one is my creeping devil, Stenocereus eruca, the creeping devil. And this one is an amazing one. The way it actually is called the creeping devil because of its awesome sharp spines, and it sort of grows leaning across. In its natural habitats, it will grow as a creeping plant all across. So this is one of my awesome stunners here. And a big Pachycereus pringlei. That is over 5 feet high, taller than me. And another Pachycereus here. Lovely one. And here we have a Trichocereus, and these are all my bigger cacti here as well. More epiphyllums underneath the table there. My bigger cacti. I'm just going to show you obvious signs of shriveling. That's completely harmless and normal at this time of year. This one here, just look how shriveled that is. That's Telocactus rhinocoensis, and it always goes very shriveled like that, like a prune. at this time of year. The later winter it goes, the more pruned it looks. But if I had this indoors, I could give it a wee bit of water now, because it's very shriveled, and it's would be in a warm environment. Because it's here in my polytunnel, which is cool, then I'm holding back on watering. There's an old saying with watering cacti, if you're not sure what to do: if in doubt, do nout. And the reason for that is because a cactus is unlikely to die from being underwater, especially in its winter dormancy, but it can die if you water it in the winter time and it's in a full dormancy. So this is why I won't be watering this. If I had it indoors in a warm position in a sunny window or something, I probably would give it a wee bit of water just to stop it from shriveling too much, but it's not going to hurt. This is normal. This is what cacti do in their natural habitats as well. My Astrophytum nudum here as well, and look how shriveled that is, and that plumps itself out too. My lovely Parodia magnifica, and my other Parodia warsii there. These buds are actually started in the late summertime, and they're quite hard, they're not easy, they don't come off easy, so I've just left them on, but I doubt if it's going to bloom. These will probably drop off and then new buds will form this year. My Mammillaria umpico there with the three peaks. And a lovely big Pharaoh cactus, my lovely Einstein, and my Esbostoa Einstein, Cephaloceres sinalis, because it's lovely white hair, my lovely big golden barrel, my Trichocereus bridgesii, lovely Pharaoh cactus here, Pharaoh cactus gracilis, variety coloratus is awesome, and my euphorbias here. Now what is interesting, guys, just want to let you know, all of my euphorbias, the majority of them I overwinter indoors in my grow rooms. I have a lot more plants indoors, but these are the only euphorbias I overwinter in the polytunnel, because they are cold hardy euphorbias, Euphorbia horrida. And this one always overwinters really well here in the polytunnel. Signs of the new little pink spines coming, so that's waking up too. And this one is the variegated variety. They're hardy as anything. They're really good hardy euphorbias compared to normal euphorbias that have to be overwintered at a minimum of 10 Celsius, 50 Fahrenheit. My old Luxemburgia principis, lovely old one here as well. So all the soil is totally bone dry on all of mine. This one here is a lovely Echinopsis, and it's starting to grow into a twin crown, into a cristata at the top as well. My lovely triple-headed big old Pharaoh cactus there, very old. And another Parodia warsii here. I've got that leaning on a box because it's top heavy, and I have been having a bit of a move around in here. I'm sort of moving plants around, and there's a reason for that, because I have some very exciting news to tell you guys. But I'm going to wait till next weekend before I tell you, but that's why maybe the polytunnel is looking a little bit messy at the moment. I have a reason for that, because there's going to be a lot of moving plants in the next few weeks, but I'm going to save that to tell you about that next weekend. I'm going to keep you guessing, guys. I know a couple of you may know already. And here is a Mammillaria formosa there. So yeah, that's why there's a few empty spaces, and plants are looking a little bit all over the place, because I'm having to move things at the moment. So you'll know why next weekend, but it's very exciting. Here again is an example of how they can shrivel. They go very soft. This is a Echinocereus adjustus, and they go very spongy when they're sort of coming to the end of the winter, when they're using up their water reserves. Water this, it'll plump back up again. My Camocereus showing obvious signs of sun stress, because we've having a few days of sunny weather after having 2 weeks of grey miserable weather. And again, these are going to probably need a bit of a watering. First signs of buds there. It's a little bit of a red sign, so that is actually waking up. There were buds already on this one here. But it's normal, the cacti always look pretty rough towards the end of the winter when they're using up all their water reserves, and they don't look the best. But you'll be amazed at how they just literally perk up after the first watering. And this one, don't know if that's showing any signs yet, maybe not, of buds. This one is often this Echinocereus gentries. They often come into bud sort of from the early March time. And there as well. So, yep, they're all shriveled, but hey, that's normal. It's what cacti should be doing. And all this white powder, guys, it's not bugs. I've been sprinkling diatomaceae surf on them. I come in here every couple of weeks and sprinkle it on to keep mealybugs away. So that's why they're looking a bit powdery white. And again, this is another soft, squishy one that foams its body up. Look how it's hanging down. When I give this his first watering, beginning of April, fattens up, goes straight onto this pole, and it looks totally different to how it does at this time of year when it's in its dormancy. More camelobivias as well here. My seedlings, my lobivia seedlings. Some more little echinopsis seedlings there I've grown from seed. And more camelobivias, camocereces. My clyster cacti here. And then on this table, oh yeah, my big echinopsis oxygona. I did a video on this not long ago. This is 70 years old, and this I'm pretty sure is going to need a repot this year as well. I have so many I need to repot, and it's going to be fun and games anyway. Here I've got some gasterias on this table, mixture of a few things here. Gasterias haworthias as well, and I have a lot more indoors in my grow room as well that are overwintering indoors, but all different types here as well. My adromistus, again they shrivel as well, but they all, and my little pilosopilios is starting to open up there, look, which is good. It starts to open up and shreds its old skin. And here, my double-crowned Mammillaria pringli, beautiful. So Herentia formosa, Echinocactus variety, Denmosa rhodocantha. So they're overwintering really well, which I'm very pleased about, because normally towards the end of the winter, such as now, it doesn't matter what the winter has been like for you, you're always going to see some casualties, because getting the cacti through the winter, it's not just the temperatures, you've also got the problem with the high humidity and also problems with the shorter days and that. But it's amazing that they have come through absolutely brilliant, especially it's been one of our coldest winters I can remember anyway. Here, Ferrobergia, that's doing really well there. Mammillarias, Copperporas. This is actually meant to be that colour, so don't worry, guys. And Anacamphoceros. Isn't that beautiful? I've got some of my succulents here as well. Gymnos, Echinopsis hybrids, a mixture of everything. And this is it as well, also coming into bud. What's interesting, the ones I have indoors in my kitchen window are coming into bud as well. This is a Gymnomya Vinci, also coming into bud. They sort of been coming into bud quite early this year, even in this polytunnel, which is cool. All my astrophytums there, Capricorn. My lovely Gymnos, Spegazenis. They have overwintered really good as well. Astrophytum sinalis. More Mammillarias, different varieties. Echinopsis, Corypantha, Gymnos. So a mixture of everything on here. And then my succulents are not looking too good because they need a good water. And I do sometimes come in here and give it's probably too little watering, but I have to be so careful because it is cold. The winter has been cold, but you can clearly see how shriveled a lot of these succulents are. They are going to need a good drink as soon as it warms up a little bit more. But these again plump up nicely, and all these dead leaves easily just come away. They literally transform themselves after their first watering, which is, it's remarkable, the before and after. And then here I've got my crassulas all at the back of the polytunnel here. Crassula jades and Crassula gollum and other types of crassula varieties. And this lovely Crassula variegata here, the jade variegata one, which is beautiful. And I have to come in here and do a lot of tidying up, but as I mentioned, I won't be doing much tidying up in here, quite the opposite, because I'm going to be telling you the exciting news, what what is going to be happening next weekend. Well, not next weekend, but I'm going to tell you what exciting things are going to happen in the next few weeks next weekend. So watch this space. But there's going to be a lot of, all I'm going to tell you is going to be a lot of cactus and succulent moving and a lot of fun and games, guys. So I'm going to keep you guessing. Here underneath, Haworthias and also Gasterias, all different types. And I've had a few of these coming into flower and been flowering. So again, I've had to very lightly water these as well. And Dikeas, I always have to give these a light water. One of my aloes here also coming into bud, which is lovely to see. And another little aloe here also coming into bud. But they're looking pretty shriveled, so I'm going to have to come in here and give these a... I can't wait till April to water some of these. As you can see, they do need watering. I have been watering some of my aloes, such as these ones here, but just very lightly. A mixture of everything now. Underneath here, I've got some of my other succulents also. Haworthias, Crassulas, and Agaves. But just look how shriveled they are. I never sort of like doing updates in the Polytunnel at this time of year because they look awful. So people are probably thinking, Lynn, your plants are looking terrible, but it's normal. That's what, they do look terrible at this time of year. They shrivel, and when you give them the first water, they really come alive and transform and burst into flower. Mixture of everything on this table, mostly all of my smaller plants. Again, this white powder is just Diatomaceae Sarth, so it's not any horrible pest. A lot of my little Ray Bootias as well, they always are the first to show signs of buds as well. Prodia at the back there. And then here, again, look at this shriveling. Echinocereus. But they've got through the winter very good, which I'm really happy about. I know we're not over the winter yet. So I always think once it's February, that's it, I want the spring. But it's just been such a cold winter, and although the weather is quite mild today, we're a long way off before the spring really starts. Cactus, Setispinuses. Again, a mixture of everything here. Gymnos, Echinopsises. See how that one's shriveled as well. But I come in here and actually talk to the plants, and I say, guys, not long now till spring. Because I'm not only telling them that, I'm telling myself. Because I hate the winter. I don't know if you're the same, guys. I can't stand it. Dark mornings, dark nights, freezing cold weather. And although the mornings and nights are starting to get lighter now, you can see the difference. It's still, by the time I get to late February, I'm like, come on, spring. Tello cactus there, showing signs of wrinkling. But I always love to do updates here, not just for you guys, but also as a bit of a video diary for myself on my plants, because I can look back and think, wow, that looked like that in February. And then I look back in May, and they look into May and June, and you see them all in flower and all fat and chunky and all the new growth. And it's like, wow, I love it. This is actually seeds, not bugs, seeds on the top of that that's come off. Lovely Prodia. There we go with all of these. Big Pharaoh cactus. Lovely Prodia Leninhausi with all the pups there. Got that supported with a piece of wire. Big tall one. That on there. And then here I've got some lovely succulents that are actually flowering. This is Cotyledon tomentosa, also known as the bear's paw succulent. And I have two of these. One is a lovely variegated Crassula bear's paw, lovely variegated, and one is the more traditionally seen one. It's in flower. And my lovely subscriber friend Annie Litton here on YouTube, I'm going to be doing a video on this lovely plant, how to care for it, and also I'm going to be repotting it as well, because some of the plants I'm going to make a start on with the repottings earlier this year, so they've got time to settle in before they have their first proper waterings. But look at the lovely flower, isn't it beautiful? Lovely to see. And then I have this one as well, also in bud, beautiful. And this one is It's Euphorbia, and it's a frosted one, and frosted cristata pulvinata. Beautiful to see that coming into bud as well. And I have been giving these a wee bit of water because obviously they're quite actively in flower at the moment, just enough to keep them topped up, but not too much. You can see there, it's lovely. And this Gymno Minor Vinci also is coming into bud, as my ones are in the kitchen window, which is exciting to see there. And under here I've got a mixture of a few things, yeah, some aloes as well. And this one is very shriveled, going to need to give that a watering very soon as well. This one is the aloe striata, and it's a very cold hardy aloe, so there'll be no problem giving this a bit of a good drink. But as I say, it's a little bit messy in here, but I have my reasons. And here I have a mixture of succulents that are on the floor because I've been going through a lot. Some I'm going to have to really cut back, and a lot I may have to repropagate. So this is why I've got plants all here, because I'm in the middle of doing things with a lot of the plants at the moment. My lovely big Puntia aciculata there. So then I think that's pretty much, oh, there's more plants underneath as well. This one very shriveled too, this Gymno, but that fattens up. Another Gasteria, I should say. More Gasterias under there. And I think that is pretty much it. Yep. So that is the update for February, late winter. And my next update, which I'm going to do next weekend, is when I'm going to tell you my exciting news. Because we're very excited to be able to tell you next weekend. But that's why I'm sort of putting off a lot of tidying up in here, because there's really no reason to do it. So happy days. My big tall Trichocereus Scopolycola crossed with Pacanoi, almost touching the ceiling there. And I think that is pretty much it, guys. So wonderful to see the buds on the monkey's tail already. And it's actually a nice sunny day. Spring is getting closer, guys. And do you have any of your cacti or your succulents that are starting to come into bud? Do let me know in the comments down below. So I hope you enjoyed the February update, guys. And as I mentioned, it's still late winter at the moment, and the cacti are pretty much all sleeping, other than a few of the Gymnos that are waking up, and some of the epiphyllums. And do stay tuned for next week's weekend, when I do a video at the weekend, because I have some very exciting news to tell you guys, and we are mega excited about this. But you have to stay tuned, watch this space for next weekend. If you haven't done already, then do please subscribe and click the notification bell. Do also check my website out for lots of growing tips on there, desertplantsofavalon.com. And I want to wish you all an incredible cactus and succulent plant powered day. Oh, spring is coming, guys.